Thank you, thank you. This is Monty, back again. I'm from DPS Advanced Equipment. We're a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. We have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products. Thank you. We have 24/7, 365 tech, sales, and customer support. Thanks again, you guys. We have the largest video library. Demonstration videos. We're going to demonstrate, or we are demonstrating, bug detectors, listening devices, X-ray baggage scanners, explosive detectors, what else? Trackers, digital voice recorders, digital video recorders, you name it, we have it. We're demonstrating it. We have a couple of hundred at least, going on 200 or 300 of demonstration videos in the video library. Go there and check it out. We have skits where we're acting out in a dramatic fashion. You know, the customer relationship between a customer who's acting out, asking questions. We're answering questions. We're basically dramatizing it so you guys can see how the experience would look in terms of someone asking questions and us answering questions in a skit format. And then we have a lot of other miscellaneous articles on various topics that you may be interested in, counter surveillance, you name it, all sorts of different things in the video library. And in the articles directory, we have hundreds of articles about everything from electronic harassment and prevention to spy phone, cell phone interception and detection, things, and maybe targeted individuals should be able to learn a lot in there as well. You name it. If you have any questions, give us a call, 888-344-3742. That's 888-344-3742. Now, today's topic is the economy stupid. Again, this is the economy stupid, and we should be on number 9. Okay? I think we're all the way up to number 9, episode number 9 for It's the Economy Stupid. Now, when we say it's the economy stupid, we don't mean to imply that everyone is stupid. We just want to make sure that you guys understand that if you're a merchant, if you're a retailer, or even if you're just a consumer who's not quite sure what's going on with the economy and how the financial markets are affecting your pocketbook and what's going on, generally speaking, with interest rates or Federal Reserve monetary policy, what the central bankers are doing. We try to touch upon virtual currency and how that affects you, like Bitcoin and technology such as the blockchain, how that affects the economy, et cetera, et cetera. We look into all of that, okay? Now, this particular episode is kind of interesting. We're going to focus on, there's two major things affecting the economy on the short term right now. But I shouldn't just say short term, because actually Americans now have more debt than ever before. Okay? So again, Americans now have more debt than they did even before the last financial crisis, before Barack Obama came in the office. There was a huge amount of debt. And now Americans have more debt now than they had before the financial crisis. The average household with credit card debt owes $16,061, up 10% from $14,546 10 years ago, and $15,762 last year, according to a new analysis of Federal Reserve Bank of New York and U.S. Census Bureau data by the personal finance company NerdWallet. The amount of household credit card debt is still down from a recent high of $16,912 in 2008. At the height of the recession, the U.S. won't hit pre-recession credit card debt levels until the end of the 2019 period, says NerdWallet's analysis projects. So basically, we're on track. Americans are on track to exceed the amount of debt that they had during the height of the recession in 2008. So $16,912 was the amount of debt, and now Americans are on track to exceed that amount. Total debt, including mortgages, auto loans, student loans, is expected to surpass the amounts owed at the beginning of the Great Recession by the end of 2016. NerdWallet found, mostly due to mortgages, student loans. Mortgage debt jumped from $159,020 per household in 2010 to $172,806 in 2016. Debt from auto loans grew from $20,032 in 2010 to $28,535 in 2016. So it looks like the major categories, mortgages and auto loans, are growing substantially. Nationwide, total household debt, including mortgages, auto loans, and student loans, now equals almost $12.4 trillion, up from $11.7 trillion in 2010. So again, that's growing at a pretty steady clip. Okay, household debt nationwide, and this typically means that as retailers and merchants, and you guys out there who run businesses, for instance, this is why traffic is slow. This is why sales are slow. This is why you have to work so hard, even though the social media sites, for instance, which is a new game in town, where the hype is not delivering, with the Facebooks and the Twitters and the LinkedIns and the YouTubes, all that stuff, it's telling you that you should be reaching a lot of people with money and making money yourself as a retailer or a merchant or a dealer, even online. But the reason why it's not happening is because of these numbers here. When Americans are accumulating debt at a substantial clip at a time when they should be paying down debt and saving money, that's why the shopping experience, the consumerism, has to slow down at some point, because they're running out of money. The pockets are pretty much empty, and they're running on fumes like a car that hasn't had gas in a long time. Pretty soon you're going to be in a situation where you're going to run out. So yeah, debt is going to be a major issue. Rent alone has risen 3.9% in the last year alone, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Okay, Americans are finding it difficult to stick to their savings goals, and that's even worse if you have a family. Okay, the amount that a two-parent, two-child family needs just to pay the bills, but not have money left over for savings, ranges from about $50,000 to more than $100,000, depending upon where a family lives, according to data from the nonpartisan think tank called the Economic Policy Institute. So the rents are going up, and the amount of money that people are paying on the rent is a major issue. Okay, the economy is doing better, but we're really not seeing the trickle down to individual households the way we'd hoped, says McKay, a gentleman by the name of McKay. And Americans, let's see, what else? There was another number I think you guys may be interested in. Medical costs increased by 57%, and food and beverage prices by 36% over the last 13 years. So this is a major issue. Given that many consumers should be skittish about living beyond their needs after the credit bubble of the Great Recession. Okay, why the growth in debt? The reason concerns a problem that has long dogged Americans. Median household income has grown 28% over the last 13 years, said Sean McKay, a personal finance expert at NerdWallet, but expenses have outpaced it significantly. Case in point, medical costs increased by 57%, and food and beverage prices by 36%. When you have major areas like medical, food, rent, outpacing significantly the income, then you don't save anything. Okay, if your income is only growing by 28% over the last 13 years, but the medical cost is 57%, up by 57%, and beverage and food is 36%, that's where you don't save much money at all. So that has to do with the debt, and then the also important is millennials is a target population of people that a lot of retailers and such were thinking that they were going to contribute significantly. But the percentage of young Americans living with parents rose to a 75-year high. Household formations by millennials lag behind other economic recoveries. High rents, mortgage standards cited as the reason. Almost 40% of young Americans were living with their parents, siblings, or other relatives in 2015, the largest percentage since 1940, according to analysis of census data by real estate tracker Trulia. Despite a rebounding economy and recent job growth, the share of those between the ages of 18 and 34 doubling up with parents or other family members has been rising since 2005. Back then, before the start of the last recession, roughly 1 out of 3 were living with the family. The trend runs counter to that of previous economic cycles when, after a recession-related spike, the number of young Americans living with relatives declined as the economy improved. But see, that's not happening right now. The result is that there are far less demand for housing than would be expected for the millennial generation, now the largest in the United States history. Okay, so the millennial group demographic is the largest in U.S. history, but they're living with the parents. They're not making very much money. They're not saving very much money. So this is a significant economic weight, or it's slowing growth of the economy overall, because it's a large group of people that aren't participating, aren't really contributing. They're just barely at home, basically at home with the parents, hanging out for the most part. The number of adults under age 30 has increased by 5 million over the last decade, but the number of households for that age group grew by just 200,000 over the same period, according to the Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies. Tough mortgage lending standards may have something to do with it, even though I think there's other things going on besides tough mortgage lending standards. Let's see what else. The share of young Americans living with parents hit a high of 40.9% in 1940, just a year after the official end of the Great Depression, and fell to a low of 24.1% in 1960. It hovered between 31% and 33% from 1980 to the mid-2000s, when the rate started climbing steadily. The census data on living arrangement goes back annually to 1980, and prior to that was collected each decade. Household formation is closely correlated with housing affordability and income. Among those aged 25 to 34, 40% of those earning less than $25,000 headed their own household. The share rose to 50% for those earning between $25,000 and $50,000, and 58% for those with incomes above $50,000, according to the Harvard Joint Center. Again, major issue. Millennials aren't contributing, aren't participating. Very, very significant weight on the economy. Tim Kaine, president of California builder MBK Homes, said, It is obvious that household formation is slower for millennials. That leads him to wonder, is it going to happen at the same rate? And is it going to happen at all for home ownership for the millennials? So this is a major issue, you guys. If the economy is stupid, it's designed to give you an idea, give you a heads up on why, the sales might be sluggish for you. If you're lucky, you're targeting a different demographic, or you're doing something right. A lot of people aren't doing it right. But I'm noticing, talking to a lot of vendors, suppliers, and different merchants, retailers in the neighborhood, physical brick-and-mortar stores, people online, etc., retailers online that I know. And a lot of people are telling me, and I can clearly see that we don't have the participation, we don't have the activity, we don't have the foot traffic that we typically should expect in a recovery environment, mainly because the people aren't saving too much debt. Car loans are at $1 trillion. You got subprime car loans hitting near $1 trillion. Again, the savings rate is 1% or lower. People aren't saving. Overall, a lot of Americans aren't participating in the stock market. Stock market's going up like crazy, but most Americans aren't participating in that because they're not educated or not informed enough to be comfortable with investing in stocks and such. So that's a very small percentage of the population who are actually participating and benefiting from rising stock prices. There's just a whole bunch going on, okay, as far as why this economic turnaround is going to be delayed, and if not put off for a long period of time. Okay, when you are younger and you don't participate and you aren't contributing, and 5 years become 10 years become 15 or 20, pretty soon you might as well forget about that generation. You got to depend upon the next generation, and hopefully they'll get off to a better start. But yeah, this has been this latest current update on the economy is stupid, and I just want to let you guys know there's a few factors going on that a lot of guys aren't talking about. A lot of people don't want to put their finger on it and discuss it, but this is what's happening, okay? Too much debt, millennials living at home with the parents letting the kids hang out forever, not contribute, not really get off to the flying start that they should get off to with the tough love or whatever you want to call it. A number of things going on. Okay, so anyway, you guys, it's a pleasure bringing this depressing segment of the economy. It's the economy stupid, number 9 to you. Share it with a friend, enemy, relative, associate. We don't care who you share it with. Just share it with someone. Get it out there, and let's remind retailers and dealers and different people who own businesses or whatever who are trying to figure out what's going on with the economy. This pretty much explains what's happening in this particular segment right here. You guys have a great day. If you can use bug detectors, trackers, audio listening devices, etc., anti-terrorist products, give us a call, 888-344-3742. That's 888-344-3742. You guys have a good day. Thanks. Take care. Bye.